Gregg General Manager, Western Markets. Look, I just wanted to give you a bit of an update on what's been happening in the United States over the last few months. Over the last 6 months, we've seen really good growth from the market. Numbers so far this year are up about 20%, and that's off the back of a number of things. First of all, the economy really is on the improve, and you'll have seen that when you look at what's happening on the stock market in North America. And importantly, the US dollar is appreciating against a bundle of global currencies. So Americans are quite keen to travel. They certainly don't sit at home looking at what's happening with the New Zealand dollar, but they do know their dollar will go further when they travel. What has really helped is, while this has been happening, is we've had the Hobbit in market, and that's given us a real big push. In the United States, we always sit in the bucket list of top 10 destinations amongst our target audience, but we're always searching for that little thing that will push us into number 1 or number 2, and the Hobbit has certainly done that. Also, we've seen real strong growth out of cruise, which has accounted for a big part of the cruise growth in numbers over last summer, and also in the premium sector. Importantly, we've also seen a number of other big initiatives in market, and from the public relations side, we've seen things like the Amazing Race, and currently there are 2 adventure shows screening with New Zealand as the backdrop. So a lot of activity in the PR space, and the mega famil. When you bring 80 travel agents to New Zealand for a week, they go back and they're ambassadors. So we are really confident of the prospects for the next 6 months on the back of increased capacity from Air New Zealand, Hawaiian Airlines flying, and a soaring US dollar. We think we'll see growth over the next summer. There are a lot of opportunities to be involved in the North American market. Certainly embrace what's happening with the Hobbit and our campaign work there. Make sure the companies you're working with take full advantage of newzealand.com. But more importantly, the US office is very, very busy with a whole lot of conferences and consortia meetings. So please get in touch if you're coming up, because there's always opportunities to be involved in those things. There's a lot of campaign work about to break, and it will build right through until the launch of the Hobbit. And the launch of the Hobbit, of course, in December will be accompanied by a big New Zealand extravaganza. We can't always bring the premiere to New Zealand, but we certainly can take New Zealand to Hollywood. A couple of other areas that I just wanted to touch on are business events. We went back into the business events area 2 years ago, and we've been making really good progress. Currently, we're involved in a number of shows. We're increasing our staffing in that area, which that will allow us to also start looking at conference business and convention business. Our focus to date has been primarily in the incentives area. So some opportunities there if you're involved in that sector of the market. Another piece I really wanted to touch on was finding ways to be involved in campaigns. Look, in a difficult financial environment, and that's what we've been going through in the last few years, people are still looking for value and bargains. So work with your distributors in North America. And some of the ways that we've seen New Zealand companies get involved, which have really helped, have been value-add offers, particularly off the back of shoulder season air initiatives, or in areas such as pre- and post-touring for cruise. Cruise has been growing rapidly, but we want to make sure they spend more time and more money on the ground, either before or after taking a cruise. So work with those companies that are involved in this sector. We won't be running a Kiwi link in the next 12 months. We feel that after the mega famil, we just need to sit back and consolidate. Our presence will be working through many of the consortia. So recently we've been at Virtuoso for their Travel Mart, and we've got a number of conferences coming up, both in the cruise sector, such as Cruise 360, Cruise Planners, or also in the general leisure areas around travel planners, travel leaders, vacation.com. So lots of opportunities, so keep the information coming through. We need to know what's happening to make sure we take it to market. And importantly, a plug for PR, we're always on the lookout for new news. So make sure the team in Auckland are well briefed so they can pass it on to Los Angeles.